if we're talking about accountability, then Williams should be out of here, right?
I
mean, Gibson was going for less. That's who you replaced him with, and he made two pivotal mistakes. Fair catching the ball on the 2, fumble. You talk about the lack of discipline, poise, professionalism. It's one thing to be tough. It's another thing to be reckless and selfish. And once again, Aaron Glenn's going to have to come to the podium and explain to us why they're not the same old Jets. And he has to own it. You are what you put on tape. And what the Jets have put on tape hasn't been good enough, hasn't been professional enough. And, we have to watch this. I mean, at one point, Justin Fields was 2 for 4?
Something like that.
Like, does he – I'm sorry, is this Air Force or Navy where we just running the triple option?
Yeah.
Is that what we're doing? Yeah, you got to have if you don't trust him to throw the football, you can't win. And when you do try and win the way the Jets were playing by just running the ball, all it takes is one mistake, and it was over with. I mean, at one point it was 10-0. Might as well have been 100-0. That's what it felt like. And everything that Justin Fields does that's a good play can't be an off-schedule play. 4th and 0 go because you can't game plan for that.
Right.
Yeah, listen, I think they didn't use him, his strengths well. I think if you look at the way Tua ran with the boots, waggles, and nakeds, Justin's more than capable of doing all that. When you solely, like Bart said, rely on the run game and it's not efficient enough for you to be where you need to be, the offense, now you're looking for answers. Everybody knew Garrett Wilson's going to be double. They don't have a number 2. You don't have a competent quarterback that can sustain drives. And when you're not able to sustain drives, now you're putting your defense out there who you know already got holes all over the place. Well, whatever. So it's tough to watch, man, but this is who they are. You said it. Right. Talk about the same old Jets, but we're going to be here next week talking about the same thing. And that's the reality of it.
And that's Dallas.
Yeah.
It's even more infuriating that they lose 27-21 because you think of how they just literally give away games on the platter at this point. I mean, you go down the most simplest form of mistakes. Braylon Allen fumbles on that gorgeous opening drive where they just punch Miami in the mouth. This team they need to take the training wheels off with Breece Hall. Breece Hall is on the sideline way too much. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. But Braylon Allen, he fumbles on the opening drive. Okay, sometimes any team in the NFL can come back from a mistake, right? And it's harder for the Jets because they aren't good enough to overcome a mistake, but they're definitely not good enough to overcome multiple mistakes. Okay, it's now 10-3. You have a half where you're getting the ball. You can tie the game. Yep. Your new kick returner, who is scouting the replacement returner? You cut a guy because he fumbled and you blame the loss on him week 1. The guy you brought in that replaced him fumbled a kick today and called a fair catch at the 2-yard line. So whoever's job that is in personnel, if it's Darren Muji or somebody working under him, I don't even know where to begin with that. So that's the kick return to fumble the half. You punt. This is an awful Aaron Glenn decision, this next one. You punt with 7:12 left in the entire game. It's 4th and 10. It was a 43-yard punt. Miami got 34 of the yards back in 2 run plays. 2 run plays. Your defense has shown nothing to give you that confidence that you should punt. It's not analytics at that point. Everyone loves it's just basic knowledge. Your defense hasn't been good enough to get a stop there right away because if you're playing for the stop, they need to get it in the first 3 plays. It needs to be a 3 and out. They got 34 of the 43 yards and 2 handoffs. Nothing creative at all. And then 12 penalties. You can't stand at the podium and say we're not the same old Jets. This is worse right now.
I agree that this is worse. And the thing that is baffling, we talked about this a little bit during the game, again, the expectations this year were not high. Jets fans were not looking at this team and saying, well, this is the team that's going to break the drought. This is the team that's going to the playoffs. That wasn't the case. You look at the roster, you say they're going to get out-talented quite a bit. All you wanted to see was progress and a new look and smarts and discipline. And the fact that they have taken those low expectations and somehow gotten the fan base into this level of a tizzy just shows you how badly they have underperformed the lowest of low expectations.
Yeah, it's tough, man. Because me watching the game, I felt like an offensive line battle. Like I thought Mindu had he battled today. Like sometimes when you're life on the edge as a tackle, it's not going to be pretty, especially when you got pass rushers who you know we got a quarterback that's going to be able to sit in the pocket. If you flush him, he's mobile, so they're going to scheme you up. But I thought our young tackles grew up today in a weird way, and it doesn't show it. The score won't show it. And yeah, there was some things out there they got flagged for. But you talk about a core five right now, who I thought for the most part of the game try to fight their tails off, like especially Simpson, especially Mendu, especially Olu. So. But
when you have a quarterback, that decision making in this process is so slow. Like he's sitting there, and then first thing he decides to do was let me retreat and try and circle the defense. That's how he fumbled. That's not what you do. You stay strong in the pocket. You don't retreat. We tell young quarterbacks that all the time.
Right.
That you don't retreat backwards, and then because that puts your tackles in a bind. Because they're expecting you to be putting that foot down at 10, 11 yards and be there. And if you start drifting to 13, 14, well, that's where they blocking them to. So then you try and circle the defense, and now the lineman's like, what the hell? What happened?
Yeah, right.
And then you got the ball flailing, and they smack it out your hand. Like we used to talk about Zach Wilson doing that, right? And
all the time.
Taking bad sacks.
Out.
Yeah, and going
out.
back. You got to step and stay strong. The safe spot is in the eye of the hurricane. But
Well,
he
it goes
doesn't do
back to
that,
what
and
we
his
talked about.
eyes go straight down.
Well, because if he doesn't see it, he's not going to throw.
But every time that he has success for that, it's going to come back. The one time he has success, 4 times it's going to hurt you. You can't plan for that. You can't plan for a guy who doesn't throw the ball in rhythm and on time as a receiver or as an offense.
So once again, we have to understand this is who Justin Fields is.
This is why I wanted Tyrod Taylor to
But this
play.
is why if you're Taylor Estrange, the OC, you got to start moving his launch point. If he's not comfortable sitting in
Right.
that pocket, start moving the pocket where he can see things on the move.
Throwbacks and waggles.
That's
Read
what
half the field. Bring everything to
I
you.
said the same thing. And my thing is if we continue to watch it, it's not on him no more. You know what I mean? Like you can't
He
blame
showed you
Justin
who he
Fields.
is.
Exactly. So at some point you got to look at this coach
Accept it.
step like
Believe it.